Tonight on Prime Business, yes, Parliament has passed the e-levy, but the contrition rate will be large as financial analysts predict electronic transactions will dip with users opting for bank checks.
Check for payment comes at zero cost. So it is possible that some individuals or tax sensitive or e-levy sensitive consumers of financial services may want to explore the channel of using check payment.
So Mobile Money Limited assures it has taken steps to lessen any burden that may arise from the implementation of the electronic transaction levy on customers.
We'll continue to work and ensure that its implementation does not bring issues that will overly interrupt the business we've built, and will continue to sustain the interest in the digitization agenda.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta advised to take a second look at the no duty, no exit policy at the MPS terminal at Tema Port to save jobs and prevent environmental risks.
If this policy goes ahead to implement, all those GPHO workers at Golden Jubilee will have to lose their job because GPHO can no longer maintain them. You are not getting the job. How do you make money to general revenue to pay staff?
We have all these stories and more coming up shortly, but we shall be starting the bulletin with commodities. You're welcome to our first story. The Center for Economic Finance and Inequality Studies Service is predicting a significant reduction in mobile money transactions following the passage of the controversial e-levy bill in Parliament. Now, the bill was adopted at a reduced rate of 1.5% from the initial 1.75% amid a minority walkout. Speaking earlier on Business Live, Executive Director of Service, Dr. Benjamin Amoah, said the decision will force some users to shift to the usage of check transactions, which currently attract no taxation.
If you go into the report further, realize that 46% or so declared their intention. And their intention was that they will reduce their mobile money transaction and they will also move away from Momo should Parliament pass it. So clearly, there is going to be some revenue deficit for the government as far as how much they have in mind to rake in every year. Mind you, the 6 or 7 billion was based on the initial 1.75. Now it is going to be 1.5. So if you do a recalibration of that 1.5 based on initial 7 billion, then you can see that clearly the numbers in terms of how much we mobilize will drop. Again, from our research, we saw that about 46% or so will not transact with Momo. So clearly, the amount anticipated by government will not be achieved. For individuals and businesses, again, to manage this, then for those who are not sensitive to this particular tax, they will still go ahead and transact with the e-levy tax. But those who are e-levy tax sensitive because of what they are going to transfer, then there is all the possibility that they will move away from e-levy, and then also the usage of check, because for now, using check for payment comes at zero cost. So it is possible that some individuals or tax sensitive or e-levy sensitive consumers of financial services may want to explore the channel of using check payment.
A tax expert and partner at accounting firm Deloitte Ghana, Ayitey says the decision can serve as a short-term measure to shore up revenue for the country.
Levy in the context of the economic challenges that we are currently having, particularly of the recent downgrade of the country and the fact that investor confidence in the economy dwindled quite a bit. One of the reasons why the country was downgraded was the challenges that we are having with our revenue targets and our inability to implement some of the revenue measures in the 2022 budget. So this is a significant milestone, and it goes to address one of the key concerns that have been raised by investors, particularly international investors, on the confidence in the Ghanaian economy. And this will go a long way to boost confidence in the Ghanaian economy, albeit we do know that it is not a panacea to all the challenges that we are currently having. There are a few other ones that we need to address. But I think this is a significant milestone, given the economic challenges that we are currently going through, and the fact that government is going to use this as a basis to drive other revenue measures as well. So I think this is a very good milestone.
Now, Mobile Money Limited has assured that it has taken steps to lessen any burden that may arise from the implementation of the electronic transaction levy. Of course, according to the company, it will engage customers and business partners in order to have a better understanding of the impact the levy is likely to bring on consumers. Answering questions at the facts behind the figures event, the general manager of Mobile Money Limited, Ali, hinted that his Alpha is prepared to support customers in order to promote transactions.
The issue of e-levy and its impact, internally we've looked at, and like in other countries where similar taxes have been imposed, we've seen its impact. We believe that on the basis of what we see in those countries, there's likely going to be an impact on this side. What the impact will be at this point, we cannot tell, but we see that happening. And what is most important, and I think in the discussions we've had earlier, is how we can continue to engage so that in the process where the impact itself becomes negative to its expected results, the right steps will be taken to make sure that we mitigate it, working together with all stakeholders. Otherwise, on our side, we'll continue to work and ensure that its implementation does not bring issues that will overly interrupt the business we've built, and will continue to sustain the interest in the digitization agenda or customers' interest in electronic transactions going forward. That is what we look forward to, that customers or users or subscribers will continue to adopt the electronic means of transaction as much as possible. So we'll look forward to working with all stakeholders to achieve that.
The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has been advised to take a second look at the no duty, no exit policy at the MPS terminal at the Tema Port. Now, the policy is a revenue measure that government believes will help boost revenue mobilization to aid economic recovery. By speaking to Joy Business, the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobit, said the fiscal measure, when implemented, will lead to environmental risks since every terminal handles different consignments, whilst some terminals will be rendered redundant, leading to job losses.
Should be cleared at the port, at MPS. I pay my duty. My container is at MPS. I won't allow my container to go to GPH reefer container yard again. Which means, if this policy goes ahead to implement, all those GPH workers at Golden Jubilee will have to lose their job because GPA can no longer maintain them. You are not getting the job. How do you make money to generate revenue to pay staff? Those staff at the Golden River Container Yard will also have to be rendered jobless, including the Safe-Born terminal, then the TBT terminal, and other terminals who will no longer be getting cargo that they used to get from the port because of this policy. For me, I know the government, you are not ready to create more jobs. You are not ready to employ. The rest who are lucky and have their job that they are doing, we will not sit down and allow you to render them jobless. we are saying that, and we will not also sit down and allow this policy to take place. Then tomorrow we wake up in the morning and our port is burned down because we are keeping dangerous cargo in the port. Even international environmental specialists would not agree. The ISO certificate, they would not agree that you keep dangerous cargo in the port, within the port. It must go outside the port, and that's why we have a dedicated terminals to handle all this cargo. So no importer is ready. If they push it to be implemented, then you should count these terminals that I spoke about, that they will be out of business because nobody will agree to pay duty and say, okay, still I pay duty, but take my container to GPH, Golden Jubilee or River Container, and I'll come and pay another charges there. No, nobody will agree to that.
Now, some cooperative credit unions have welcomed the decision by the Credit Union Association to maintain interest on loans at 3%. Now, this is in the wake of the Bank of Ghana's policy rate increase by 2.5% for the first time since November 2018. The board chairman for Oil and Gas Cooperative Credit Union, Engineer Gideon Kumar, explains the move by the association will help keep businesses of members afloat. Nana Aljima was at the annual general meeting of the credit union and has filed this report.
The Bank of Ghana's policy rate increase to 17% is expected to control the rising inflation and fall of the cedi. The move is, however, expected to increase the cost of loans since commercial banks will borrow at a higher rate. But the Credit Union Association has decided to maintain interest rate at the existing 3%, which puts members in a position to borrow more for their businesses. Board chairman of the Oil and Gas Cooperative Credit Union, Engineer the credit unions stand a higher chance to increase customer base.
Our number one supervisor, which is Credit Union Association of Ghana, they brought out those, they give us the rate, and they have indicated that they are not going to change it, and therefore we can also not change it. When we have any challenge, they are our first point of contact to fall on, and they always back us. So we believe that we can be able to make it, and I believe they have also done their checks and balances to know why they are not increasing it.
The Oil and Gas Cooperative Credit Union started in March 2018 and has grown its total assets from over 294,000 cedis to over 1 million cedis. Savings contribution increased from 211,000 to 713,000 cedis, while shares of members increased to 190,000 cedis from 120,000. Loans disbursed to members increased by over 500,000 cedis. With trade surplus of 270,000 cedis in 2021, management believes it is about time the credit union opened up to the public.
Intentionally didn't rush to go to the public. We have sat down to think about it with the board, with other committees, and trained some of them, and even spoken with some of the banks to also assist us in building capacity before we go to the public, because we didn't want to start anything that we cannot sustain.
The Oil and Gas Cooperative Credit Union is committing to prudent management as the union prepares to open up to the public.
As part of activities to mark this year's Engineering Week, the Ghana Institute of Engineering has held its 31st induction ceremony, placing a call on all professional engineers in Ghana to abide by the rules and regulations guiding the profession. We have more in this report. The senior engineers who were inducted include civil engineers in the Mechanical, Agric, Marine Technical Division, the Chemical Mining Technical Division, and the Electrical Electronic Technical Division. Swearing in the inductees, President of the Ghana Institute of Engineering, Professor Charles Enum Adams, charged them to apply high ethics and standards in the district.
I believe you will participate in the processes helping to achieve our objectives. Our inductees, you are here because you took the bold step to become professional engineers. No educational institution can make you a professional engineer. It is only professionals who can make professionals.
The chairman of the membership committee advised the senior engineering inductees to use their expertise in engineering to improve the quality of life of Ghanaians in key areas like development of water supply, power roads, health, sanitation, among others.
Constitution mandates the membership committee to waive off the entry requirements with the approval of council. Thus, candidates who have the requisite engineering qualification and have practiced a considerable number of years and have proved their mettle, but for some reason not registered to be members of the institution, are considered for the confirmation hearing.
We'll still stay with the Institute of Engineering because they've also officially licensed and inducted 57 beneficiary artisans under its craftsman register. Now, the institution has for the first time inducted 57 of these craftsmen in a strategic move to ensure standards and regulations in the operations of engineering technicians and craftsmen in Ghana. Here's more. All these artisans now have a license to operate. They are the first of a batch from the Ghana Institute of Engineering and part of the Institute's resolve to wipe out craftsmen and go a long way to limit risks of market fires and structural-related disasters in the country. Professor Charles Enum Adams is president of the Ghana Institute of Engineering.
A craftsman can repeat best performance standard all the time. He can make it safe. He can think of the economics of it. He has good behavior. And that is why I'm saying that if you were not doing that before, now from today, you are beginning a new journey. And we expect so much from you. So today marks a new way of seeing yourself. And we also want to use it to announce to the country, the government, and everyone who is dealing with artisans and craftsmen that there is a way craftsmen can work, but they need to be professionalized so that when they make a straight line, it will be straight.
The chairman of the membership committee, engineer Dr. Patrick Becoin, challenged newly inducted artisans to ensure efficiency and reliability in the delivery of this service.
All candidates being inducted have the necessary academic and experience requirements that I talked about, and have thus been recommended to be transferred to the class of engineering craftsmen of the Ghana Institution of Engineering.
These were the only ladies who made it to the induction ceremony. Joy Business engaged them at the site of the event.
I have 10 workers and then 10 ladies that I'm training. I own my own contract, my own company, and so I'm very happy to be in the construction sector.
My family is more into construction, so I think I had the love for construction as well. So I want to do something of my own, run my own business, and then the family inspiration was one of the greatest reasons why I ventured into construction.
And how has the journey been like for you?
It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy.
The professionalization of artisans project seeks to formalize the informal sector to improve the employment situation of Ghanaian local artisans within the construction sector. Now, students of the SDA Teacher Training College in Koforidua in the Eastern Region have been taken through entrepreneurship training. The training spearheaded by the Executive Director of the Enterprise Bureau, who is also a fellow of the 1 Million Leaders Africa, is to promote skills development in the youth while in tertiary school. We have more in this report.
The 1 Million Leaders Africa is an idea which is aimed at grooming sustainable leaders as well as empowering African youth in order to solve societal problems. As part of events to create awareness about the initiative, the Executive Director of Enterprise Bureau, Ethel Ann Komlaga, took the students through basic knowledge on skills development without relying on government payroll for survival. She explains further the engagement with the students.
By 2030, we want to raise 1 million Nelson Mandelas in Africa. Why do we mention Nelson Mandela? He's somebody who has the integrity. He's somebody who was accountable for whatever he wanted to see in Africa. He's somebody who was very modest and who brought about a lot of sustainability measures for the Africa that we need. And this is what we want to imbibe in the African youth. I have chosen SDA College of Education because I feel like this school commands a greater population in terms of students, 1,005 students. If we bring the idea here and we incite the entrepreneurship spirit in them, by the time we are through with the OMLA project, we would have achieved half of the objective only in this school.
Some of the beneficiaries have been sharing their experience and expectations from the initiative.
So go to the society and transform the society, and also give hope to those of them who are hopeless in the society, and also be an entrepreneur-oriented people who are always, desire for better improvement in the society.
This is basically a platform which has come to create the awareness. Formerly, we weren't aware of such initiatives, but now that we've been given this opportunity, I think it's an eye-opener and we'll take a step from here.
The SDA Training College is the first institution to benefit from the initiative in Ghana since its establishment.
And that'll be it for Prime Business with me, Charles Ayitey. But I'll leave you with international business news, after which we have Oreko Ampofu come your way with the latest in sports. I do know that you're itchy to get to know about the updates regarding the World Cup qualifiers, not just the Black Stars, but Senegal as well. Do stay for these details when Oreko joins us after international business news.